All right, we're here with Nate Brownrigg with the West Muskingum Tornadoes, and he is the head coach for the Muskingum Valley All-Stars going into the 42nd installment of this great All-Star game, the Muskingum Valley Licking County All-Star game coming up this Friday. Coach, I really appreciate you taking time out of your week to hype up this great game. First of all, I want to ask you, how's your summer going, and what's been going on with you, since school's been done?
Yeah, like we just talked about before we came on, busy. Summer's been really busy. We're running our own, workouts and installs and things like that for our program in the mornings. Last week we had a really awesome kids camp where we had, 115, little kids up here on the hill doing football and basketball stuff. So that's a busy week. And then we throw the All-Star week on this week, which is an awesome experience, but also obviously takes up some time. And then, I have four young boys that are all into baseball and some other things. So, pretty jam-packed schedule.
Does this game like get you fired up for football season, man? I mean, I'm sure it does, but like you've got the best players in the MVL and they're all on your side. I mean, I'm sure this gets you fired up for the fall.
Yeah, I've been fortunate to be part of many of these games. I think we said last night this is the seventh time that I've got to coach in this game. With all the years at Tri Valley, and then just 2 years ago having the opportunity to coach with Coach West and his staff at Tri Valley as part of the game. Like you just said, we're talking about the best kids in the area. And so, we're talking about kids that want to be out there, kids that want to, do their best and represent their schools and programs and communities, and then the league, come Friday night.
Now, you've coached this game 7 times. I mean, what's it like the first time you get to coach it compared to now? Like, what's different? Like, what have you learned coaching this game 7 times over the years? I mean, what's the difference between the first year you did it and now?
Yeah. Now, obviously, the first several times, doing it as an assistant, and kind of figuring out the organization and the practice schedules and things like that. And really, I think just over time, and again, I was fortunate to coach with Coach Buttermore, in this game, who's one of the best at organization and practice planning and stuff like that. And I think just keeping it really simple, on both sides of the ball. So you're not putting in a lot of stuff that is going to confuse guys and slow guys down. Again, like we just said, these guys are the best athletes and players that our league has. And so, we want to make sure that they're out there comfortable and just, in a position ready to play, not having to stop and think and slow things down, and just go let them do what they do.
So you just said you're keeping the game plan pretty simple. I mean, is there any kind of creativity mixed in just with the immense talent that you have at your disposal? Or I mean, I guess how much do you kind of let creativity kind of, you know, factor into your, play design and everything? And or is it just kind of taking stuff from your West End playbook? Like, what are you using?
Yeah, it's a little bit of everything. Like again, there's obviously going to be some specials and things to have some fun with in a game like this. But the other side of it is something we did, starting way back in 2008. I think the first summer I coached this game. You also look at the guys you have and take advantage of what they do. So I can remember the first time we coached, we had basically Sheridan's entire backfield, and that was when Sheridan was under center running triple option. And so we had like a package where those guys came in and ran triple option. With the guys that we have now, again, each time you do it, you got guys that do things a little bit differently. We got some wing T guys, we got some spread guys, we got some power guys, and so we take the guys that we got and try to put them in kind of familiar situations, even if it's our terminology may be different. I just had some conversation with the kids last night. Some of them going to college, and it's kind of the advice that I always give our guys to go on to college. To think about what we're trying to teach or what their college team's trying to teach, and then just connect that to something they already know from the program and coaching they're familiar with, and it kind of speeds up that learning process. And again, the objective is to let them go out and make plays. And so even though we install basic offense, defense, the bottom line is this game comes down to guys that when things break down, they're able to do things on the fly and make plays. And the cool thing with, especially when you get groups where you have multiple guys from the same team, like especially cool this year, we have we have Morgan's quarterback and a couple of Morgan's receivers. We have Sheridan's quarterback and a couple of Sheridan's receivers. So it makes it really easy as a coach to say, all right, when things break down, you guys, do what you do. You guys have a chemistry and a relationship where you guys know, like, hey, if I got to bust out this way, I know this guy's going to be there because we've done this, many, many times over the years. And so just kind of, allowing them to get out there and play and do those things. And again, take advantage of the skills that they've worked for and developed over the last, 4 or 5 years.
Now, some of these guys on your team have been giving you a headache for a couple years just because you have to go against them every week in the MVL. I mean, what's it like to to finally have them on your side and you can have fun with that, knowing that they've caused you some trouble over the years.
Absolutely. That is one of the coolest parts about this game. I talked to the kids last night about, the, one of the best parts about this is now, again, the world's different now because of social media. A lot of these kids know each other way better than we did back in the day. And because essentially half of our staff played in this game. I played in it several years ago. Coach Bowman from Morgan is helping us out this year, played in it. Coach Riley, who's my assistant head coach, played in it for the Licking County side. And so, this game's important to us. And, we talk about how, one of the coolest things is just, getting to know some guys that maybe didn't really know well beforehand, or guys that, you competed against and were not a fan of because of, this or that, and realizing that they're a pretty good dude. And, that we're all, pulling the same direction, want this, have the same objective. And, again, one of the keys to this game that we talked about last night is I think that the teams that typically win this game are the teams that can kind of come together. That's hard, in talking about 4 days of practice, but getting guys to buy into that, being unselfish, whether I get mine or he gets his, I'm happy either way as long as we're, all going, the same direction to win the game.
Now, you have 5 kids from your team on the roster this year. Describe the feeling of getting to coach them one more time.
Yeah, that's another kind of bonus or advantage to this game is again when you have a really good senior class, or it'd be cool to be able to do this every single year, but obviously you kind of want to share that opportunity with other guys, and also like we said, it does take some time away from family and some of your other things, but it's always awesome to get that one more week with the guys that were around for the last 4 years. And especially in our case, a few of our guys, went to Mid East, or have already started in the workforce, or getting ready for college. And so it's been since last season ended. Haven't got to spend as much time with those guys as we had for the last 4 years. So having this extra week and again just making an experience that they're going to remember, that they're going to appreciate and enjoy is our number one objective for the week.
Now, Rashid, he's an Ohio State walk-on. He's not on the roster this year, although, I mean, he would have been a unanimous selection by anybody, but I'm sure you wish he was on the roster because it'd be a lot of fun to have him one more game. And obviously, he can expand so many things that you can do offensively. But I mean, I'm sure you wish he was out there for you guys.
Oh, absolutely. And on top of, we've talked about this before, doing some of these things, on top of the fact that he's a tremendous football player, he's just a great dude, a great kid to have around, to be around. And so, yeah, obviously, it would be nice to have him, but he's moved on, and he moved into Ohio State a couple weeks ago. We communicate, every few days, and it's been really hard, but he's been enjoying it and kind of, embracing that grind and getting into it. And he's excited about his opportunity up there, and we're ecstatic for that opportunity for him as well.
Yeah, no, that's pretty awesome. Now, of course, you've talked about wanting to win this game and what guys need to do. Like the teams that usually win this game, it's the guys that are able to make plays and kind of separate themselves when things start breaking down. And obviously, you want to win. Muskingum Valley wants to extend the series lead to 23-19. But I mean, how much are you valuing? I mean, you've kind of talked about it a little bit, but just like that time together with your kids, the other greats in the MVL, how much are you balancing the want to win this game, but also just going out and having fun and just celebrating the great coaches and the great players that we have in the MVL?
Yeah, it's obviously any of us who are competitors, when we step on the field Friday night want to win. But again, that's kind of secondary. And it's really the same way that we run our program here. That I think a lot of the programs in the league are run. That those wins and losses are secondary to the experience, the development. Now, obviously, we're not going to try to do as much development in 4 days as you do in 4 years with guys in your program. But again, just getting the guys to come in and enjoy the experience is goal 1A. Goal 1B is to come out, healthy. And then, ideally, some of these guys, have, create some friendships or bonds that last way beyond this. Here in, over the coming years, they run each other in college, whatever, that they're, kind of staying connected, hooking up and doing some things, outside, or again, becoming friends into their into adulthood, is the main objective of this game. But when we step out on the field Friday night, for sure it's going to be, and it's not just us as coaches. These are, again, the best kids in our league, and they're the best kids in our league because they're driven to be successful. And you can see that when they come out. We talked about last night that a game like this isn't something. Practice is much more low key than normal practices. Like we're not going to be fired up and yelling at these guys. These are guys that want to be here. But again, we wanted to have fun. So, but even last night, we could see that guys come in and they are kind of having some fun off to the side. But when it's their time, when it's their rep for whatever drill we're doing, or it's their time to be step out into a group or team period, you can kind of see that little switch flip, and those guys are ready to play and compete. And again, that starting on day one last night makes me feel really good about the direction we're heading come Friday.
Gonna be super exciting to watch and celebrate these kids on Friday. But Coach, I really appreciate you taking time to kind of talk about the special importance of this game, and the great players that you have on the squad this year. And best of luck. Hopefully, you go out there and get a win from the Muskingum Valley side and extend the series lead. But most importantly, you guys go out and have fun and make some memories together. But I appreciate you taking time to talk for 10 minutes.